All right, we are talking today about how you need to stop. You need to stop ignoring your nervous system. Okay. You need to fix your life from the inside out. We are doing the opposite. All of society is putting that on us to try and sell us all these ideas and things and solutions when really we need to start from the inside and work our way out. So I get it. We are busy people. We often put the hottest fire out first. But what about the situation that's really ablaze within you? We kind of backburner that one. We tend to do this mirage thing where it's like, well, when X is in place, then I'll deal with what's going on inside with the emotions. I'll get quiet. I'll sit with, I'll go to a retreat. I'll do whatever. What about how it's affecting you every single day of your life? And if you keep trying to work on all the things from the outside to help the inside, you are going to burn yourself out and get nowhere. You really need to come from the inside and work your way out. So that's totally the convex way of working with the situation. You need to flip it around. When your nervous system is fried, chronic tension is absolutely running your life. You need to start there. So today we're going to do that about face. We are going to look at our outer world only as much as how it relates to our inner world, and basically uncovering all the nasty little ways it pops up so that we can start really reflecting on how to start from the inside and move out. So I'm going to talk about 5 different areas of the life, of your life, that are typically very commonly affected when our nervous system is totally out of whack. And I want you to like perk your ears up and listen as I go through them and see how many of those how many of those can you tick the boxes on? Knowing full well that life is fluctuating and we're not always perfect. So there are definitely times in our life where we're like, yeah, that's going on, and give yourself some grace. But if you are ticking a ton of the boxes, all of them, wow, that's really eye-opening, and that's really indicating that it's time to do an about face, move from the inside out instead of trying to fix everything with outside solutions. We're also going to get into 3 key points that I really want to drive home about how to start working from the inside out instead of the outside in. So, hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Sack. I'm a women's online wellness mentor. I love helping wellness pros get back on track with their own self-care routines. That was the very thing that lit you up in the first place. Typically, you had some sort of healing transformation, or you had an aha moment. You were like, I'm going to bring this out into the world, impact everybody, and then somewhere along the lines, you put yourself on the back burner, your practices slid in the back burner, and you fell back into some tendencies. Chronic stress is on your plate. You are living with a jank nervous system, dysregulated, and I love to get you back on track so that you can embody the peace and presence that you preach, right? So that you can create that massive impact that you wanted to in the beginning and really put an end to feeling like an imposter for being out there in the wellness world preaching all of these things, but not actually practicing it yourself. So, all right, if you're watching this live in my Facebook group, thank you so much for being a part of it. Invite a friend in if you know someone who would benefit. And if you're not in it, you're watching this later on YouTube, get in there. Find the Stress Loop Rewire Facebook community and get in there. Join us. It's fun. Okay, so if the effects of your jank nervous system reveal itself in the ways that I'm about to share, you know you need to start doing some work on the inside. So tell me, first of all, if this is you. If you're out there getting so many supplements, you're like on the supplement train. I call it the supplement train. You're out there always trying to find different vitamins, supplements, remedies to help you either sleep better, to help you maybe have more energy. Maybe you have the stack of books on your nightstand that's starting to look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa because you're trying to remedy everything from your business to your finances to your relationships to your own issues with self-worth or communication. You're like thinking, okay, if I just read this next book is going to be the cure-all. It's gonna set me free and give me everything I want. And so you're a collector of the books, right? Trying to consume information. Maybe it's that your bank account is like, not doing so great. You're overspending. There's some impulsive shopping happening. Perhaps you think the latest marketing strategy is going to be the cure-all for your business, the latest social media posting tactics are just going to cure everything, and then you'll feel calm and good because you're getting all the likes and the views or whatnot. Maybe it's the latest fad diet that you're on, trying to lose some weight, and you think, oh, I'll feel better once I've lost the weight, once once I'm finally, wearing jeans instead of yoga pants all the time, God forbid. I love yoga pants, so I'm not going to say anything against that. But sure, all these things, all these solutions, all these outside remedies, they may help temporarily. They may take the edge off. They may give you a bit of an aha moment, but they're really just band-aids, right? They're just going to fix something, tamper it down from the outside, and underneath the underlying issue is still present, still rampant, and it's going to keep blossoming and blowing up out into your life. And we're going to talk about the ways that we typically see this happen. So if you're just straight up fed up with having such a jank nervous system and being in the state of chronic tension all the time, please get my 7-day energy reset. It's going to be the greatest resource for you. Link is in the description or the comments. This is something that's going to help jumpstart that practice of you getting back in control of your self-care routine, finding the energetic practices that work for you, with me popping into your inbox every day for 7 days with all sorts of goodies and insights and practices and audios and self-reflections. So grab that. Okay, so if you are hesitant to stop with the band-aids, the books, the supplements, the ongoing whatever it is, all those things I talked about that you're trying to do from the outside to just, squelch the fire a bit and keep going, keeping your head above water. If you're like, yeah, no, those are working for now. I don't really have time to delve any deeper. I don't have time to deal with anything else. I want you to get real with yourself, first of all. And I want you to be honest, and I want you to listen up as I go through these things and see if they're really affecting you in your life. And how bad, like on a scale of 1 to 10, as I'm going through these, like think like how much is this affecting my life? Like 10 being like, holy crap, got to change this now. 1 being like, yeah, it itches, but I can handle it. And also, think about the how bad you really would want to change those things. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 like, yeah, whatever, and 10 being like, oh my God, it's got to change now. So those are kind of similar. How much is it affecting you? How bad do you want the change? Kind of think of those things as I'm talking about these points. If there are things that you could check the boxes as ways that your dysregulated nervous system is showing up in your life. So we're going to get a little grimy and expose 5 of those right now. And the first one is health. And this is where it's ironic because our whole society is built on, not built on, but it's really impresses health, and so it's selling us all these things all the time to help us with our health. And I'm guilty as charged. I love supplements. I love the latest trend or workout, or what. I'm totally a sucker for all of it, so I'm with you on that. But here's some ways that our health really does get affected when our nervous system is dysregulated, when we're dealing with a lot of chronic stress. Obviously, sleep is disrupted. We're either sleeping too little, too much. We have digestive issues, bloating, IBS flare ups, poor appetite, or like a ravenous appetite due to stress. How many are you? I'm like more of the eat more than the eat less kind of stressed out person. Hormonal imbalances, irregular cycles, adrenal fatigue, your immune function. So getting sick more often, or just not recovering very quickly. You might also have a lot of chronic tension, a lot of pain in the body, tight jaw, your neck and shoulders, your back hurts. It could be actually can be anywhere. Like those are the key points we think of when we're like, ooh, tension, everything in this kind of general area. But really, tension and pain can live anywhere in the body as a result of chronic stress. We all kind of have different areas and tension gremlins, as I call them, in our bodies. So tension and basically irregulated nervous systems show up in your body in the way that you feel heavy or inflamed, maybe sluggish, and maybe you just don't remember the last time you felt good, like physically in your body. You're like, oh, this just doesn't feel good. Some of that's due to aging and getting older, and things are, creaking a little bit more, and maybe a little easier to get injured and recover. But in general, like you should feel pretty vibrant in your body. And if you're not, there's something underlying going on there. Another area of your life that is heavily impacted by a dysregulated nervous system is your relationships. So we tend to be a little irritable and snappy when we are under chronic tension. It might be with your kids, with your coworkers, your friends, your spouse, your partner, whatnot. We've got a short fuse. We're very defensive. There's a lot of miscommunication that happens this way. You might have some emotional numbness going on, so you might feel that it's hard to connect, to find that joy. There's some distance happening there. You might even avoid others entirely, or on the flip side, there could be some codependency going on. You need them to feel well, or you're people pleasing, you're over giving. There could be one of two things. You could have some low libido happening, or you could, be touch aversive, or maybe you need more because you're just not feeling well. You need some sort of physical touch to make you feel to fill your cup beyond just a normal scope of wanting connection. Does any of that check the boxes for you? A lot of times, this chronic tension will show up in our lives by snapping at our partners, by avoiding people, places, plans, just being disconnected, or even just when you're around other people in conversation, you're not physically present, you're not mentally present with them, you're off elsewhere, planning, scrutinizing, judging, all of the things, worrying. You know them, you know them. So this is how it affects your relationships quite heavily. Third place that our lives are heavily affected. Think about this. Does any of this ring a bell for you in your business or work? So you might be plagued with decision fatigue, overthinking, unable to make a decision, second guessing. That just stops you short. It stalls your day. It stalls progress. It makes you procrastinate. You may have some imposter syndrome, and that's something I deal with a lot in this, audience that I'm speaking to, because we are known to need to be well. Like, we are supposed to be well because we're out there talking about we're supposed to be. We should be. I want to drop that facade, first of all, because we're so human. So I want you to give yourself some grace, but it's natural to feel like, God, I'm out here with all these tools, but secretly inside, I am dealing with these things. I don't feel right. Something's really off. And so then we deal with imposter syndrome. That prevents us from really wanting to show up. It makes us feel like two different people when we are out there in the world, and there's a disconnect within ourselves. There's the person that we show them and the person that we feel we are inside, and that creates all sorts of disrupt within us. You might have some overwhelm with tasks going on. So maybe there are a lot of tasks on your plate, so it's natural to have some overwhelm, but maybe you're just so disconnected or dysregulated in your nervous system. It's not so much that you have too much to do, it's that any little extra thing is going to tip the scale and make you feel overwhelmed, regardless of how much is really on your plate. That is a huge sign of being dysregulated in your nervous system. You might experience creative blocks. Have you ever had that happen? You're supposed to put together a curriculum, a course, maybe just a class, a yoga sequence, a meditation. You're going to go speak, you're going to do a workshop, whatever, what have you. Maybe just creating a piece of content for social media. And you sit down and you're like, I can't, I'm blank, there's nothing. And then that reinforces some stress and anxiety, and you're just spinning out, and you're like, man, I used to just flow with this. It used to just come to me. Your chronic tension is also a creative block, and it's affecting the quality of what you put out there, and also the fun and enjoyment you have while doing it. So that's a huge one when it comes to your business and your work, especially if your work requires creativity. And a lot of us, it does. You might even just start avoiding being visible because you feel so off balance. You don't want anybody to pick up on it. Or you just feel like going into your shell. You're just like self-preservation, trying to just keep yourself, copacetic. So you're like, I can't take on any of this energy outside of me. I can't do any of this. I need to back off. That is how it can totally affect your work. So think about, if that's affecting you, how much is it affecting you, and how badly would you like to change that? For the area of your life that may really be showing up for you and how your dysregulated nervous system is affecting you is your finances. So here's one that we kind of sometimes set to the side. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to deal with it. But you might be dealing with some sort of scarcity mindset. So, fear that there's not enough. You might hoard money. You might undercharge for your services. It can really show up there as a state of fear. You might have some impulse spending going on. So, stress shopping, finding comfort in like food delivery, trying to just self soothe basically by buying and collecting things. And that's not helping your finances out by any means, right? That's definitely a place we'd want to start from the inside out instead of working from the outside in to regulate ourselves and feel better. You might entirely avoid managing your finances. You can ignore your bills and maybe not pay your taxes. Just let the past due things build up. You'll deal with it later. You might start forgetting to pay bills. I notice this if I'm stressed. Like I'm on top of them, and then suddenly I get that late notice, and I'm like, how did I forget to pay that? I pay that every month, but I was wrapped up in stress. I was not being present centered. I wasn't looking at my finances because I was dysregulated. I was off. I was not being in the routine that I normally am, trying to encompass a balance in all parts of my life. You could be under earning also because you are staying small. You're fearful of burning out, of doing too much, and it affects you. It affects your finances. If you're not able to show up and work hard and give quality work, you're not going to be able to, if you're in a working environment in a corporate setting, climb the ladder per se. If you're kind of just, sliding in under the bar, under the radar, not really giving it your all because you are stressed out. You're like, I'll just do the bare minimum just to get by. That's going to affect your finances long term. Now, if you're out there in the wellness world and you're not able to show up and you're feeling that disconnect and you're not creative and you don't feel like you have anything of value to put out there, you're missing opportunities to make money. So this is a big one. Let's talk about one that I don't think it's talked about enough, which is ironic because it's such a part of how we spend our time, where we spend our time, and part of our own energy, and it's our home. Our home is a place that can reflect a dysregulated nervous system, and it is because why? You spend so much time there. This impacts us in ways like clutter accumulation. So every little thing kind of stresses you out. So you don't put it away, you don't deal with it, you just kind of like toss it aside and move on, and like you don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. And the next thing you know, it's all piled up. But you're too drained to tidy. You're too stressed to think about it because sometimes it does take some cognitive, like, where does this go? Do I keep this? Do I toss this? Like, we get too tired and stressed out to even want to deal with anything. So then you end up with piles everywhere, right? Or you're neglecting your self-care spaces. So maybe you have your yoga mat or your altar or something at home, just collecting dust. It's not getting used, and you start seeing like, wow, it's been a while since I whipped out, my tarot cards, or I practiced or regulating with, my sound bowls, or whatever it is that you're doing for wellness. Maybe it is the books. Maybe self care to you is taking time to read, but the books are collecting dust. So, yikes! You start noticing this. Maybe when's the last time you took a bath? The bath bubbles are sitting there, but they haven't been popped open in a long time. You can notice, like, ooh, I haven't been self caring, basically. There could be a lot of energetic chaos in your home. So basically, every space holds energy. If you walk in your home and it doesn't feel peaceful, if it doesn't feel supportive, then you know something's off. Something's off there. It can cause a place of isolation. You might use your home as a way to isolate. And you stop inviting people over. You're just really kind of like in your little world, in your ball there. And that is also an indication that your nervous system is a little off there. You might naturally be introverted or, whatnot. Maybe you're like never really had people over. But if you start noticing like you just want to get home and crawl into a ball and stay there for the rest of the night, something's off. You might notice one or two things. You might have over cleaning happening. This is something I've always been subject to. When I stress out, I'm anxious, I will over clean. It just somehow, yeah, I don't know, it actually makes things worse because I start thinking in my mind as I'm moving quickly. But you might be one of those who goes the other route and just doesn't clean at all. So you can notice it in your home. Like, is Are you being overly tidy and clean? And is that because you're stressed out, or is your house kind of getting really mucky and messy? It's because you haven't been keeping up with the normal level of care that you give it. Notice what that's happening and why that's happening. It's because you're not feeling good inside. So, yeah, you can go clean your house and it's fabulous, but is it going to fix what's happening in here? Not so much. So, again, I want to impress upon you that these things can happen from time to time. Sometimes we get busy, we don't clean the house, or any of the, maybe we splurge on something once in a while, maybe we overeat once in a while, undereat, because whatever, life happens. But if you are ticking off a ton of these boxes, my friend, it's a huge indication that there is some inner work starting with your nervous system that needs to help so it can filter out and clear up some of these areas of your life rather than you thinking that you can fix them topically with the band-aid. You're going to keep having the same problem if the root of the issue is not fixed. All right, so you need to think about what what it means to you to fix this now, not a year from now. Like, how important would that be? What would change? How would it benefit you? Which areas of your life do you really want the benefits to show up? What do you want to alter and change and improve? How bad do you want that, right? Which leads me to really our next point. Um, what do you do? What do you do? Well, first of all, if these are ticking off boxes and you're like, wow, I really can resonate with a lot of those, and I didn't realize how much of my life is really being affected by my nervous system and the fact that I'm not dealing with my chronic tension, that is the perfect indication for you to remedy and start right now, not a year from now. Like I said, grab my 7-day energy reset. It's going to get you that jump start. It's going to make you start getting back in the habit. It's going to start making you aligned with the things that you really do like to do to feel better, that just keep you in it, right? That keep you feeling good. And really, a lot of times, it's just a matter of making that a habit again. Let's talk about the 3 key points I want to reinforce to help you move through this, start working from the inside out, and change. The first is a strong choice. You have to really want this. You have to really want change, okay? So the pain of not changing has got to be worse and outweigh the pain of staying the same. So yes, you can keep with your band-aids. You can keep moseying on, treading water, going about this, silently letting the fire blaze in the background while you put out all the fires that are in front of you. Fine, feel free. But there will be a tipping point. It might be a health crisis. It might be a broken relationship. It might be a loss of a job. It could be so many things. Do you want it to get to that point? How bad do you want to improve your life now and start fixing this from the inside out? You really need to give that some reflection. Once you feel the urge is strong enough, you will start implementing things to help you. It's just a decision that you have to make. Nobody else can make that for you. All right, second key point I want to drive home is the effectiveness of the tools that you choose to implement to help you. There are so many things out there that you can be doing. I mean, the amount of methods are boundless, from, EFT tapping to crystals to meditation to breath work to yoga to therapy to hypnosis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And yes, there are, I never bash any of them because I love them all. I'm like such a junkie for all of them. But here's the deal. You have to find the ones that work for you, like the tools that you can keep in your back pocket. Not like you're going to go have a session every month, but like you're going to keep them with you. You're going to use them throughout the day. Are they effective? Are they actually helping you? If they're not something that you can easily implement into your day, they're not helping you out. They need to be things that are effective for you, because then you won't do them at all if they're not. And the third key point that I'm driving home is, if they are effective, they need to also be efficient and you need to be consistent with it. If they're not effective, you're not going to be consistent. It's not going to be an efficient process of regulating your nervous system. So we need to not think of this as adding something to your to-do list. This is really more about creating space and starting to implement things that are natural for you to do so that you can feel better and get used to, let your body and your mind get used to feeling good. So the effectiveness and the consistency of which you apply these tools are paramount in starting to re-regulate and to be able to see actual change, because it's not an overnight thing. You are rewiring. So you need to find the things that work for you, stay consistent, make sure that they are your favorites, they're effective and efficient. That's exactly why I created the 7-day energy resource, because you're going to a la carte style sample all these different methods. Because if you've been out there for a while not doing anything or trying too many, this is a good time to narrow it down, try several, and say, this one works for me. This I can do on a daily. This one I could do at the drop of a hat, no matter where I am. I like this. I'm going to do this. Run with it. You're going to get to sample many types of grounding techniques and energetic resources so that you understand what is effective, what is something that you can use consistently. You're also going to start to understand what it is that drains you and then what fills you up. So you become a bit of an energy ninja there, so that you can kind of be proactive in keeping your nervous system regulated. And then beyond that, it's really about getting into finding your North Star, your core values, and really creating a mantra and empowering sort of state of mind that you can live within. So that's the whole encompassing of just this 7-day energy reset. Just think about, what would it be like if I started actually practicing with these techniques, starting to feel better. I'm really on top of not just sustained balance, but the resilience, bouncing back when something does throw me off. And I'm noticing what I can do in my environment to stay in a good space. And I am living now in the space that I'm out there practicing and preaching. Great way to get started with that. So I'd love for you to take advantage of that. Again, link is in the comments. It will be in the description later. And it's going to really help you sink into deep relaxation with audios and practices. Again, you need to get used to feeling good again, to relaxing. If it's a foreign concept, you have to allow that to feel safe again. You'll learn all sorts of things, and I just cannot impress upon you enough how easy it is to just start, to just, if anything, this video could be an eye-opening moment for you to be like, you know what, I'm ready. Because so many areas of my life are being affected by my nervous system. I really need to start there. I need to start from the inside out, and it's really just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other. All right, so just so you know, grab that resource. Beyond that, I just want you to remember there's many ways to attack a problem. So many ways that we can go about trying to improve things and fix things in our life. But let's try and start from the inside out instead of working from the outside in. And really do give some strong consideration to the areas of your life that are being affected, how they're being affected. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is that disrupting things? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want to fix that? Because that's going to be what drives you to actually implement your self-care routine again, to get back on track, to feel better. It's that decision, and you need to sometimes have a hard, come to Jesus moment with yourself and say, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to fix this now. So if you have any questions, any comments, please reach out to me. You can find me right here in the group, DM me. And other than that, I just thank you so much for being here. Keep being awesome out there. And don't forget that you are worth it. You are worth taking care of yourself so that you can go out there and make the impact that you were meant to make. All right, you guys have a fabulous day, my friends.